Hey, what's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to Let's Have a Twosome with
Steph
and Blue. Now, this is like our first episode doing this. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. Make sure you can talk to us in the chat. We'll take song requests. We'll take some questions as well, especially from those that sent questions over from Instagram. So, tune in. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some music in between and all that stuff. In the meantime, let us introduce ourselves so you can know who you're dealing with. I'll let my beautiful girlfriend go first.
Hi, my name is Steph. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I guess I'm 31 years old. I'm a single mom. I am dating Blue.
Hi, that's me.
We've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I don't know what else to say. Like, I work in...
No, okay, that's too much.
No? I can't say where I work?
No.
Or what I do?
People start stalking you. I'm giving pointers on here. Like, you don't give out too much information. All right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Blue. I've done this before, kind of, sort of. I used to be... We don't know yet. Wrestling podcast, just say that, all right? I also work with High 97. I've done a few things. I have some more things in the works. Me and my girlfriend decided to do something for us because we think we're interesting. We have a lot of discussions that we like to talk about, and we have friends that's interested in that kind of stuff, right?
Definitely.
Especially
and our topic is pretty hot. You know, everybody's either in relationships, situationships, single, dating. So it's a pretty hot topic,
right?
And I think everybody can relate to what we have to offer. So
yeah, we've come a long way. Just for people that now we can talk about how we like our relationship, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We've known each other since I was like 17, she was like 16. Throughout the years, we made a lot of like questionable decisions, I could say.
Yeah.
Being young and dumb, you know, something that we've known that, you know, a long time ago, but we kind of like ignored because again, young and dumb, right? So now we're actually together in our adulthood, and we realize that this is what we really want to do for the rest of our lives, being together.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we gained a lot of experience getting here, so we want to share some of that, and you know, just talk with our friends and listeners and everything like that, because we know a lot of people are in similar situations. Maybe we could offer some advice, maybe we can't.
Or maybe we can just
take
grow
some
together,
advice.
take some advice,
right? Like grow.
You know, share our opinions. Just, you know, please interact with us.
Yeah, we're definitely
as
open.
we're talking. If you feel like you don't agree with certain things that we're saying, just, you know, point out your opinions. We'll address them and, you know, talk about them as well.
And we're definitely on Stationhead, which is on live, and we'll be also on YouTube. So that's why we're going to be looking back and forth like this a lot. So we're doing like two different things at the same time. Again, this is our first time. We don't have all the right setups yet. We're going to get there. But before we do, we can make sure to follow my beautiful girlfriend, Steph, at
Mirror Me Steph on Instagram. Right now, Steph Spot on Twitter.
And for me, it's Simply Blue on both Twitter and Instagram. You also can follow us at LHA, the number 2 some on Twitter, or LHA, the word 2 some on Instagram, because they wanted to be difficult or whatever. Anyway, we have a randomizer, right, to pick our first topic for the night. For the camera people, look, we're going to pick it random. It says random.
At random.
So it's not our choice. We have
I'm
a list
so excited.
We have a list of questions to pick from. Again, you can submit your questions to us on Twitter, Instagram, DM us. No problem. Don't try to talk to my girl, though, because then, no. All right? Anyway, so I gotta make it if I can put it out there. I gotta keep it 100. All right. So I'm going to hit the randomize button and give us our topic for the night. We're going to discuss it a bit, play some more music, get some questions from people in the chat, and then come out again. So hit it random one time. Beefing in the relationship. That's the topic tonight. We definitely have experienced that already a few times.
Yeah.
So we have some discussions about that. If you have some questions and you want to say your piece about that, and you're in the Stationhead chat, go ahead. If you're in the YouTube chat, go ahead. We'll respond as well along the days into our next conversation. So beefing in a relationship, like.
Well, let's talk about, like, what do we mean by beefing?
What do you think?
Beefing, more like when we're beefing in a relationship, we're talking about, like, disagreements, you know, like either you guys are, you know, either we are or you guys are having disagreements in your relationship, whether it be small, big, where it caused like some kind of tension, a rift, if you say, into the relationship where you guys, there's tension, there's friction in the relationship. Things are not going as smooth. Things are hard. People are hurt, whether it's both side or one sided. Things like that. So that's what we mean by beefing in the relationship. You guys are not like, things are not really happy right now. It's just, and it happens, a rough patch, or a situation where you guys are just not agreeing.
And it happens a lot. We had one recently, right? We had a issue with, I'll say, communication.
Yeah, communication. Yeah.
It was more so on my part because, again, like, this is us dating in our adulthoods, so like we're still getting used to like each other in that sense. There's never nothing that's gonna be like, oh, make or break of the relationship kind of situations. It's just more so like, all right, I gotta relearn you again, right? Like,
well, in our situation, we kind of like have to relearn each other again. So.
Right. We both come from different situations in terms of relationships and how we dealt with stuff. Our beef was like, to me, I hate the word check-in. Like, she used the word check-in, but I hate that word. It's not more so check-in, it's more so like making sure that you're good. Like, I want to make sure that you reach your location good. I want to make sure that if you're at a party with your homegirls that, all right, we got here safe, babe. Here we are just in case, shit pop off and I need to go grab my homies and pull up to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Irvington, so shit happens. So that's my mindset always, because coming from where I'm from, is like, you do that with your parents, but when you don't have your parents no more, you do that with your significant other. Because like my mom always said, you never know what happens between point A and point B.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That's where we had our communication beef. How do we handle that?
Well, I mean, I'm very laid back. I know for myself, I'm very laid back. When it comes to like dating, I'm just very relaxed. So sometimes I'll go like a few hours without saying nothing. Right. And I'm like, everything is good or whatever. And my thing is, I kind of have to like remember that I'm like, okay, I have to make sure this person is aware of what I'm doing and if I'm okay and where I'm at or things like that. It's just, something that I have to kind of get accustomed to doing again. So,
right.
That's just my personality, and that's where our little thing happened where.
Yeah, and I'm more so, again, like, I'm used to like touch base. Like, she'll tell you, I text all the time, like, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm with this person. Hey, I just got here. Like, it's not a one-way street. I'm like trying to check her and everything like that. It's like, I do the same thing as well.
And I'm not like that.
And how did we handle that? See, me, when I'm in the, like, when I feel some type of way, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I let it settle first. I want to make sure that I'm, like, not in the right or wrong, but, like, how I'm feeling. What are you giving me that silent for? No, like, it's not. It's not to be saying, like, if I'm right or wrong.
I snorted. Wait.
Yeah, you did. I ain't want to put it out there, but she does that from time to time. It's cute. I like it. But like, it's more so like, I want to let it settle. Like, make sure I'm not overreacting. Make sure that I'm not coming from like a place from the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, venting off of her without probability. So what I'll do is I'll let her settle in. I'll check with my boys, like, yo, like, am I tripping for this? Like, I straight up say, like, yo, am I tripping for this? Let me know if I'm tripping, because if I'm tripping, then I'll tell her my bad. Or, I'll swash it or whatever. So if you handle things a lot different. I'll call her so from time to time. I'll try to remember to call her Seth, but whatever. I know her for years.
Yeah, so I prefer to just handle things head on.
Right.
Like, if you're upset about something, let's talk about it real quick. Like, I don't like to dwell, because I don't like that feeling, that uncomfortable feeling. You know how you have that tension?
Right.
Where something is wrong.
Right.
And you just have to, you have that, like, pit in your stomach.
Right.
That's how I feel. And I hate that feeling. And I feel like, I have no problem addressing anything right then and there. If I feel like, I'm feeling uncomfortable and I feel like there's some kind of tension going on, I want to talk about it. And I don't want to drag it on, especially if it's not something that's a huge deal to me. I want to, talk about it. So it kind of, for me, it did kind of bother me that we didn't talk about it right away.
Right.
That we kind of waited for it. and it, like, as time went on, I got more upset because
Right.
I was like, we could have just dealt with this right then and there.
Yeah, but most
and
of that
talk about it, you know,
But like
not make it a shouting match, because we're both adults. We could
Right.
talk. We could talk and have a conversation without getting, you know, disrespectful and using profanity, calling each other names, things like that. Like, I think we could discuss it really quick and just resolve it and understand where each other's coming from before it gets, you know, out of hand.
And I get that too. And the reason why I say what I say is that it's more so like that night, for example, you was out with your girls. I didn't want to get into a fight with you while you're out with your girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you to be the type sitting in the corner going back and forth with your man while your girls are like having fun. Like, to me, that's corny. Like, I don't want to
Right.
squash your night because of what we're going through. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna get over it. Like, it's nothing serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd rather deal with it the next day when you're by yourself, or I see you face to face. Because a lot of times too, through text messages, you misconstrue things. Like
Yeah. Things can get
when I said,
misconstrued.
for example, I tell them, like, when I text you, I was like, you know, all right. When you said, yeah, I'm good, I'm like, all right, good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You feel like I was just dismissing you. It wasn't a dismiss,
Yeah.
so to speak. It was more so like, I don't want to get into you with you right now. Let's talk about this tomorrow. Like, that was it. And shout out to Rose. Roses are red. She's saying that she likes the idea of checking in, and that's something she does as well.
Yes.
And she also does the whole, you know, making sure she doesn't trip, so she sits back on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So like, everybody has their way of handling things, right?
Right.
So, again, I just didn't want to get into it with you that night while you was in a club, because I don't want you, you know. Dang, the mic is drowning us out. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that. Let me see if I can turn it down a bit. Maybe put the mic a little bit further. Maybe that helps with you guys over at Station Head. Make sure you follow Station Head as well, because they paying us when we get to a certain amount. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. We trying to get paid and pay these rents. But yeah, that's just where I was coming up from on my side. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat, you know, sticking with us. Make sure you put your inputs in the well.
Yeah, and tell us how you feel. Like, tell us exactly, you know, what you like to do in a relationship. You know, let us know if we handle it correctly, or if we could have just talked it out, or if we should have waited. You know, give us your suggestions.
Oh, so there's music playing while we're talking. Is that it? Oh, let me see if can I stop the music? Yeah, there we go. Does that work for you guys? Is that better? I didn't know the music was playing. Sorry, again, like, we're still getting used to the mics and stuff. So, but yeah, like, that's how we deal with beef in our situation. Tell us, again, like she said, tell us how you deal with your beef with your significant other or whatever have you. Because it changes, it varies. Everybody's different, right? So that's the topic for tonight, beefing in a relationship. We're going to play some music now. We had a request actually on Instagram by Queen Unique 2002. She's my niece. So we're going to play that next. And then we're going to, you know, like I said, tell us what you want to hear. We could play the songs that you want. And we keep it moving from there. So let me figure this out. Again, we're new to this app. Bear with me. And we'll be right back and continue with what y'all talk about in the chat. Continue, you know, give us your input and anything like that. I'm stalling so I can find the song. And shout out to everybody on YouTube. Make sure you follow us again on Instagram, Twitter. We're not really on Facebook yet. And where did I put that song? Babe, why you let me do this?
Do what?
Okay, there it is.
You
All
found
right,
it?
yep.
All right.
We're going to play it next right now. Shout out to Queen Unique. And she requested this song that we're about to play right now. And that right there was John B. They Don't Know. YouTube, sorry you can't hear it because we're not trying to get sued or flagged. That was requested by one of our listeners. Yep, we back. Just let everybody know that if you want, you can ask us a question live on Station Head. Just tell us that you want to ask a question and we'll bring you in. Tonight's topic is beefing relationships.
Yep.
And we're telling you how we deal with it ourselves. Now we're thinking about, how do you deal with a beef when you're living together? Because that's like our next step, right? Soon for us is living together. And if we start beefing, we should discuss how we'll handle it. So, on your end, how would you handle beefing with me like overnight?
Nah, we're not doing overnight.
What you mean?
I personally don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling like, we're not good. I like to handle things immediately. That's just me. Like, I don't like to linger, think about my feelings. I like to get them out because I'm already, like, naturally, I feel like naturally, like, whatever I'm feeling in the moment, I like to address it.
Right.
I want you to know how I feel. I want you to feel how I feel.
Okay.
Especially how I express it. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm feeling at the moment, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I mean, we may not agree right then and there, but as long as we both can communicate how we're feeling, where we're coming from, where our mind state is at, what our thought process is, I think that we can at least get over that hurdle where it becomes like that tension.
Right.
Because I feel like once you go to bed and you take it to the next day, it builds. You start thinking more about it. You start thinking about, okay, maybe this person doesn't feel a certain way how I feel, or maybe this person's not considerate about how I feel. You start thinking more about it, and on top of that, it becomes more negative thoughts.
Right.
I like to just address it. I've always been like this. I will always address it immediately because I don't like to just like assume what the person is thinking.
Right.
Which sucks because not everybody's like that. People probably want to just think about it. Like
like I do.
Let me put a pin on it and let me think about it later, and then we can talk about it later. And that's not how I feel. I don't want to put a pin in it because I overthink things. And once I overthink things, I'm just going to be like, okay, oh my gosh, he's not caring about how I feel right now. Oh my gosh, this is not where I want to be right now. Like, it just escalates.
Right.
Immediately for me. Like, it just goes from bad to worse. So I always like to address it just to have that kind of like, I want to say, maybe, I don't know, comfort. Like that kind of comfort, knowing that I'm not
tripping.
Or I'm not like left in the dark.
Right.
Or I'm being acknowledged.
Right.
I'm not just being, tossed to the side.
Good, because I ain't sleeping on no couches. Saying no.
No, and I've always like I like to address things immediately. I've always been like that. No. I don't like to just let it be or let it fester or let it, and then eventually it just, bubbles over.
Right.
I want to address it because if it gets to that point, then if it's bubbling over, it's gonna be a problem.
And I agree. Like for example, like we said, like that riff we had, it was an overnight thing. I didn't sleep, to be honest with you, because it was more so like, even though I'm mad at you, I'm like, all right, make sure that she gets home safe. So when you didn't text me that you got home safe, that just made me even more mad. And I know you did that purposely, in a way, because you were mad. So I'm just sitting there like, yo, she really didn't text me to let me know she's home? What the... And I'm like, wait a minute.
What if something... to sleep.
And I'm like, this is the messed up part, because I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, what if something really happens to her? I don't know where I'm going. Like, should I pull up to her house, make sure she's good? I'm like, nah, she's fine. He's just trying to make me mad. Like...
And I was.
See? And like,
I was mad.
And I didn't sleep. Like,
I was big mad.
See? Like, and I didn't sleep for that. So for me, it's like, I understand the whole aspect of like letting it fester overnight, because then I'm not, it's not going to sit well with me. I've always been that way. Like you, I'm an overthinker. My overthinker is a little bit more extreme because of my past relationships. I'm like, damn, she about to break up with me. Like that's my extreme. Wow. Like I'm like, yo, nah, she about to break up with me now. This is over. Damn it, I gotta go back to the dating scene. This shit trash right now in 2019. Like hell no. Like nah. And I'm like, nah, yo, she wrong. Fuck that. I'm like, nah, but then am I tripping? Like, hold up. It goes through so many emotions of overthinking as a guy when you like really, really care. So it's like it's an adjustment, but I'm glad that we're at least on the same page where we want to handle it right then and there. And
Yeah,
so we can
I don't
move
want to
forward.
dwell on it.
Because again, I ain't trying to sleep on no couches. I'm like, that couch, as comfortable as my couch is, I'd rather be next to you.
Oh,
So,
babe.
yeah.
You're so sweet.
Okay, that was like our sappy moments. You're gonna get some of this. I'm sorry. We're in a relationship. You get it. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. We do have a request from Keeks. She want to hop on the live with us, so we're gonna request her. She can ask her question live with us. Invite on as a guest. Remember, we're trying to learn this ourselves, so we're trying to see how this goes. And we're waiting for her to, I guess, accept.
Yeah, it's requesting.
Accepted. Yay. Keeks?
Is this working? I don't know.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. Where you calling
Hi.
from? Wait, not calling, but where you tuned in from?
What you mean, like location in
Yeah.
the world in Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay. We're in Jersey right now. I'm here with Casey, who's next to me.
Nice.
Say hey.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? See, we got a couple on the line. What's your question?
So I recently realized that the topic is beefing in a relationship. So my question really wasn't about beefing.
That's fine.
Specifically.
That's fine.
I wanted to direct the question to both of you. How has it been dating somebody who shares the same culture with you versus, someone who's not Haitian? Because I know both of you are very diehard Haitians. Haitians to the bone, right?
Yep. So, yeah, that's
So how has that been?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, you want me to speak first, or you want to go first?
Well, you want to reiterate the question just in case nobody.
Oh, for the question for the people on YouTube, in case you didn't get to hear it, she's asking, how does it feel to date somebody that's in the same culture as you? For those that don't know, I'm Haitian. Seth is Haitian. So this is like, and the funny thing is, the crazy thing is, thanks Keeks for your question. We're about to respond to it right now.
You're welcome.
So basically, for those that don't even know, like again, we're both Haitian, and on top of that, like both of our families are from the same, I guess you could say, village. And recently we found out that our families actually know each other in a way. So that's like a whole full circle thing. But you want to go first and answer, or do you want me to answer it first?
I want to answer it.
Go ahead.
Dating somebody in your culture, because I've dated outside of my culture before, it's really great, to be honest. It's like a breath of fresh air, because especially if you're dating, especially if you're coming from like, I guess, first generation
Right.
Haitian. So my mom immigrated here, and then she married my dad, and had me,
Same
had my
story.
sister,
Same story. Yep.
things like that. So literally, I've been exposed to Haitian culture like immediately. Like my first language was Creole. I didn't learn English until I went to school. So I speak perfect Creole. And my mom taught me all the cultural things that I would have, learned if I were in Haiti. Maybe not to the full extent,
Right.
because I'm not in Haiti,
Right.
but as close to it as possible. So I'm really close with my family, for one. Like, she's always been the type to call her family in Haiti like every once in a while, like maybe like every couple of weeks or every week. She'll always send money to them. She'll always, make sure they're good. So she's always emulated that in our family as well. We're very close. We talk to each other a lot. I really love my family a lot. And one of the things that she taught me growing up is that I should always embrace my partner's family as well. Not just because it's like the right thing to do, but also because you want to see that person in their element. You want to see how they are around their family. You want to see how they treat their family. You want to see if they're, good to their family, if they're engaged, things like that. You want to see how close they are, because those things matter. Once you realize their family values, you'll know that they'll reciprocate those family values in your own family when you start building a family with that person. So I've always been the type to be asking, okay, no matter what culture, whether it was Haitian or a different culture I was always asking, okay, when do you see your family? Why do you guys, if they're not speaking, why do you guys not speak? Because those things matter to me.
Right.
Because I always speak to my family. I always talk to my family.
She's still my family.
I love family. Like, that's just me.
Family.
So
they talk to her before they talk to me now.
So
I still ain't get no baby picture. Sorry. Go ahead.
You mad?
Yeah, I am. Like, it's crazy.
So those things are like important to me. So and that's how I was raised. So just knowing like that, and that's just an example. Like, there's so many other things that I can like elaborate on, but I'm like, that was just one of those things that mattered so much. It's just, understanding, making sure that I understood his relationship with his family as well. So dating somebody in the same culture, because Haitian culture, family is generally tight knit. Like, it's hard. Like, it's hard to like find a family in the Haitian community that's just like, even if they're beefing,
right.
like,
like
that's not together. It's very hard to
yeah.
find that. So just knowing that, I'm with somebody that has the same culture, from the same village, he's very close with his family, is a breath of fresh air, because that, at least I know that when we begin to raise a family together, that family is going to be one of the most important things that we're going to be focused on, because that's what we already naturally
right.
deal with. We were raised on that. We grew up on that. We're taught to just take care of our family.
Yeah. In my instance, yeah, it's a whole lot easier. So it was I've dated a lot of people from the Caribbean, even though Caribbeans are very similar in a way. Not, there's bits and pieces that's different. Like, to me, I've dated African Americans before. I've dated Hispanics before, and then, not to say there's nothing wrong with intergender relationships, like intercultural relationships or anything like that.
No, there's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's something special when it's from home. Like, and our parents used to tell us that when we was younger. We just looked at them like, nah, everybody's everybody, and date who you want to date, and that's true. Date who you want to date and who you connect with, but at the same time, it's something different when I could talk Creole to her and she responds back to me in Creole. You know what I'm saying? It's something different when we're like trying to decide food and we both want the same Haitian food because that's what we're craving. Like, it's just a different kind of bond. And also when you're trying to teach your children about your culture, it's a lot easier as well. Like, teaching them how to speak your native language, and when you want to bring them back home, it'll be a whole lot easier in deciding that summer, let's go here. And it's just, I don't know, like, again, I've dated different cultures, Jamaicans, Barbadian, from Barbados, Bajans, I've dated Africans, but it's just that when I dated Haitian, it connects different. And to me, I'm glad that, in my words, my soulmate is Haitian, because then it's like, all right, we could move forward with the same mindset, we have the same culture, and as Roses of Red said, someone who understands the customs and rules of your culture is important, and it's easy not to have to explain things. And she's right.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, I had a African American girlfriend that wanted to learn Creole, and I started teaching her Creole, but it didn't really catch on as fast, and we didn't work out anyway, so that happened. But just when it's like, it's so much easier when everything's same and simple, I guess you can say. So that's how it works for us. And honestly, I want to know how you guys feel. Like, for those that are dating outside of your culture, do you feel like it's easier for you guys? I know is it a little bit harder, or do you guys appreciate each other's cultures a little bit more because now you're learning two cultures and you're expanding yourself into the world? So let us know how you feel about that when it comes to dating interculture. To move on, because we got to end soon, we have a question off of Instagram, where we sent our Insta stories and somebody asked a question.
She asked a juicy question, too.
She did. Queens of Sweet Catering, with a Z, in case y'all want to holler at her. She asks, is there anything wrong with a couple wanting to have a girlfriend? Do you want me to answer that first?
Yeah, you answered it from your perspective.
To me, yeah, that's kind of messy. If we're married, and to be honest with you, if you was with somebody that you really love and you really adore and you really care for, in my opinion, you don't want to share them with anybody. And that's how I always felt. Like, if I feel like you're the one for me and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you, why am I sharing you with the world, like, and having an open relationship or whatever you want to call it? I'm not saying that it doesn't work for everybody. Everybody's different, but in my opinion, like, to me, like, I love her dearly. Like, this is my heart. Why would I want to share my heart with somebody else or my space with somebody else? Not saying that I'm claiming her as as a property or anything like that. But it's just like, to me, that also opens up doors for complications, open doors for fidelity. Like, it just opened too many doors, in my opinion, that could hurt your relationship in the long run more than it could help. But again, everybody's different. For me, I prefer not to. Like, I'm good with just having her for the rest of my life, and that's just my opinion. Like, I'm happy where I'm at. What do you think?
I feel the same way, but I don't know the dynamics of her relationship, so I can't just base my opinion on exactly what she's experiencing. Not to put her out there or anything like that, but I'm just...
I guess, again, it's from our perspective, so you can say how you feel personally.
Personally, I don't think it works. Because, first of all, women are very, very emotionally attached when they're in, like, relationships, whether it be situationships,
right?
Friends with benefits. Eventually, as women, we just want more. So whether it's just, they're them three or whatever the case is, however the dynamic is established, eventually it becomes messy, because one woman is like, okay, I want to control how, my man is dealing with this other person, and the other woman is probably falling for this for this man or for the woman, and things become more emotional than they should have been. So, in my opinion, I don't think it works. But for maybe, because there are women that are more emotionally detached. I wouldn't say there are many of them, but the women that are emotionally detached probably can work that out, where they can separate their feelings, which is very hard, but they can separate their feelings and deal with that, and probably make it work, because there are a lot of open marriages, relationships where there's multiple people involved that work.
Right. You're right. And again, like, it all varies on who you're dealing with. For me, and I guess in this instance, and I'm very happy that, and for her instance as well, like, we're good for just us two, and we don't really need anyone else to, like, add to our relationship. Not taking from everybody else, because everybody's different, and everybody could deal with it different. Like, so if it works for you, then it works for you. But to me, I feel like it just opened too many doors for bad situations.
Because you have to take into account there's another person involved. It's not just you two anymore. You have a third party or a fourth party or a fifth party. Right.
The polygamy is real out here.
Yeah, so, once there's more than one, more than one involved or more than two involved in the relationship, it becomes, now you're dealing with multiple personalities. You're dealing with how people, behaviors.
Right.
Different behaviors, how people handle things. And sometimes it may mesh well and sometimes it may not. And for the most part, I don't think it meshes well. when you're dealing with so many people, especially sexually, you're exchanging energy.
Right.
You know, that's a lot. That becomes a lot, especially long term.
Right.
Maybe you know, short term it might be like fun, maybe something that you want to explore, see how it goes. But long term, especially if you want to commit to something like that, make it, you know, something permanent, it becomes challenging.
And take a step forward, is a different situation for your children if you decide to do that with children, because then now your children have to deal with that kind of stuff at school. Not saying that, you know, it's right or wrong, but sometimes you got to put that into perspective, because for example, like I know a lot of, like, you know, same sex marriages, when they have adopted child, that they may have to deal with bullying, and that's sad. And you know, we still have to get over that hurdle before we have to get into the polygamy hurdle as well. So I feel like sometimes you have to, you know, choose your battles. If you're doing this just for fun and you just want to put some spice in your relationship, is it worth it? That's the question you have to ask in terms of your children, in terms of your life. Because again, one party might end up just talking and put stuff on social media, or people that you know. Like, are you willing to go through all of that? So that's just my opinion. That's just her opinion. On that note, we will end it. Thank you for you guys for listening.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you follow us on Twitter or Instagram.
Mirror me, Seth.
On Instagram, and on your Twitter is
Seth Spot.
Mine's it's Simply Blue, ITSSIMPLE Blue on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow our account at LHA, the number 2 some on Twitter, or LHA, the word 2 some on Instagram, because they want to be difficult. And on that note, we're going to end with Neo Mad. So thank you guys for tuning in, and see you next week. Next Wednesday, 10 p.m. right here. Let's have a twosome. And we'll pick a new topic. And make sure you submit your questions and your song requests, and we'll be here to play for you.
See you then. Let's have a twosome.